Welcome back, everyone. For today's video, we continue with the speed run. Oh my god, here, a 10-minute game. And I think we're getting close to 1200. So we should be getting more appropriate openings. Let's start with d4 and then c4. Probably the opponent wants to play something like c5 at some point. So let's get the knight out. Okay, maybe here we can get bishop to g5. Let's develop the other knight. e3 later. Okay, so we can still play e3. All right, here we don't really want to take back with the pawn. That ruins our pawn structure. Let's take back with the queen. Now, in order to challenge this pawn structure, you might want to throw in a move like h4. So I don't see anything against this move, h4. They have given up the bishop pair, especially the light square bishop. So none of these squares are covered. I think at this point I can even take here and play immediately h5. So it's a little bit aggressive, but I will go for that because the opportunity presents itself. So now I can get h5. And he has to decide what to do with this pawn. The best idea is probably not to take, because this allows this to happen. Yeah, that's a good move as well. So let's continue with development. Okay, here I'm gonna do something aggressive, which is I'm going to cancel here. And the idea is, long term, I will have my two rooks on this space. Probably can also play the bone cloud, maybe king d2, but this feels safer, right? I'm also keeping an eye on the pawn here, and I can line up my queen, my bishop, and that's probably a good move. e5, because it makes me make a decision. I have to make a decision here. There is nothing to worry about. I have 3 pieces, but I still have to make a decision. So probably the best move is to take this pawn. Taking here is also interesting, but I get here immediately hit by the knight. So I will take this pawn. And I might even have a sacrifice here. Let me think about this. Bishop to d6 check. Oh, second. Check takes. Can I sack the rook here? No, that's too much. That's too much. No, but maybe bishop takes. What after something like queen g4? Queen g4. He can play this. Okay, I guess for now I'm happy just threatening the pawn. Maybe I can play bishop queen to g4. Let me see if there's something else. Okay, I don't see anything else in the position, so I will play queen g4, and I might have the sacrifice. So I can maybe get here, takes, and take with tempo. Okay, that's probably a good defense. He's defending with the knight. So what can I do here? Maybe I can take. And open up the position. My rook is on the same file as the queen. So intuitively, that should be fine. Another attractive move is knight to e4, hidden here. Okay, I'm gonna go with my instinct, and I will play this move. And the reason is probably I can have some kind of sacrifice or take this pawn, because if he decides to push, maybe this rook is looking at the queen, right? It's that's a good response, taking back with the bishop. I also have this response. can always take this knight though. So maybe throwing this move is not a bad idea. Knight to e4. Yeah, I like this a lot. f4. Even if he decides to get rid of the bishop, then I still have an attack, don't I? Takes. Here. Takes. The problem is another pawn is hanging. I have this fancy move. I don't know if it works. Rook h5. Rook h5. Looking at the b. Yeah, it kind of looks fancy. Okay, I'm gonna go with that move I was thinking about. I don't love it, but it should be fine. I don't see how he can respond adequately to this. Knight to e4. Here now I think I have different ideas. f4 is still possible. I can maneuver the bishop. I'm not sure about bishop c2. Maybe even try c5. So I have this diagonal for the bishop. So that might be an idea. What do I want to do here? Yeah, because I can also go there. This is an idea. f4. f4, bishop has to go back. And now there is a lot of pressure on this pawn. So I'm gonna do a little bit slow because I'm not exactly sure what to do. And maybe I can just rerun this bishop. Yeah, here this is just a bit of my style. Maybe slow, but I'm making progress. Here also is the idea. Okay, I'm threatening this pawn. So after the bishop retreats, oh, okay, that's a good concept actually. He wants to trade queen, so if I trade, takes. Yeah, the pawn is still hanging, right? So takes. Now f4. Okay, let's go for that trade. Maybe there's a better way to handle this, but now I will play f4. The bishop has to move, and this pawn is hanging. Okay, he's hanging the bishop because he's thinking, oh, I'm gonna attack the pawn. The knight, sorry. But if he takes the knight, he just loses the rook. Wait, that's actually a good move. So I was thinking that the rook was undefended, so no. How can I do this? I'm not sure, but I think I should be slightly better because if he's giving the bishop, probably this bishop against the knight should have an advantage. What else am I miss? Am I missing something? I have this move. Knight c5, hitting the rook. Oh, okay, yeah, I think that's better. So, knight to c5, hitting the rook, hitting the pawn. The bishop is hanging. So now I don't see a move that can save the two pieces. He has to save the bishop and he has to save the rook. I think it's not possible. It was a good fight though. It was a good game. Yeah, now he cannot save the two pieces. I'm gonna take the bishop and this is winning. I still have to be careful, but here we can do... okay, let's just go for simplification. Really takes. I still have to be careful about this file, but it should be fine. Completely fine. This pawn is hanging too. Okay, let's be a bit greedy. Let's take the pawn. I still have squares to go back. All right. Then I probably blunder this pawn. I'm not sure now. Takes here. Okay, let's go here. Let's go there. Probably the most active square for the knight. If he takes there, I can also take here, right? So I'm just double checking if he has any checks, anything in the position. He doesn't, so I'm gonna go and grab the pawn. I can always activate my bishop on b3, long diagonal. Okay. He's actually preventing my idea. I wanted to play this. That just hands the pawn. Oh no, it doesn't hand the pawn. Sorry, it's completely fine. So I'm just gonna play it. I'm going to play here. And it looks like it's hanging my pawn. But always look for this pattern. If you can put your bishop and in front of it a rook, then you have a winning combination. Because here the rook would have moved here to g5, for example. Okay, I don't have to move it, but let's play safe. I'm not sure. There should be something in this position, some checks, something more forcing. But let's be solid here and just keep an eye on the pawn. Okay, that's a check. Let's move. I can go. I can. Oh, sorry. He actually hung the rook. I didn't realize that. So let's just take. That's what happens. Sometimes you trust your opponent, like, oh, he's making a good move, but you should question everything in life, also in chess. But yeah, yeah, you should. Yeah, he should just resign. That's nothing for black. Okay, let's grab another pawn. And I'm running out of time, so I will have to blitz out maybe a few moves. Let's go here. Probably even pre-move. Okay, let's just go here. Okay, I will try to go for the trade of rooks. Okay, let's trade rooks here. Pre-move. Then kick out the knight. I think the only... Oh, no, yeah, he has this and this. These are the only two good squares for the knight. Okay, let's just protect. Now I can even start pushing. Everything is winning here, right? I can even, I don't know, get the rook for the knight. Sacrifice pieces. It's too much advantage. Okay, let's just go back and play super safe. Even give a check. Okay. Now I can go for a4, a4, a5, a6. Let's keep an eye on the bishop. Okay, let's keep pushing. Let's force the trade of this pawn. Okay, now he has double pawns, easier targets. Perfect. Let's keep pushing the pawn. Let's go here, trying to win the pawn. He has a check here, I didn't see. Okay, let's win the pawn. Making sure I don't blunder a piece. Okay. That actually the rook is keeping an eye on the bishop, so he can give a check here, but maybe I can move. Okay, move up. Now b4, b5, b6 is inevitable. Let's go there. It was kind of beautiful geometry here because the bishop is keeping an eye on the knight and rook is keeping an eye on the bishop. And yeah, he has 2 minutes on the clock. Doesn't matter how hard he tries now. It's very, very unlikely. So let's just promote to the queen. Here, okay, I can take. And now even the king move he has to make is awkward. He has to make a move here. Yeah. Let's cut off the king. Okay. Here we can go with ladder mate. Anything is winning. There's also a pattern here where I can put my rook. Just have to make sure I don't stalemate him here. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's go here. Okay, that's checkmate. Yeah, that was the pattern I wanted to show you, but I think it couldn't have been done in this. So where you are covering like 3 squares like this with the queen, and then you complement with the rook. So let me show you here the pattern. Yeah, like this, right? So you don't even have to think about that. Okay, let's see the game review. Okay, guys, so let's check out. I just saw the computer moves, but sometimes what the computer doesn't show you is taking this knight with the bishop, giving up the bishop pair so early. The computer says it's fine, but to me, strategically, it's a bad move. Okay, h4, then he castle, bishop takes on f6, bishop takes. But now it's different because I'm weakening directly the position of the king, right? So yeah, and the evaluation is saying that I'm winning. So okay, I develop my pieces here, castle, e5. And the strange thing was queen to g4 was a mistake. I'm supposed to shut down the position and play d5. And he has to play, or that's the best move, has to play this. And now he retreats. It's still losing for black though. Okay, after queen g4, the game continues. D takes on e5. Again, the computer wants me to go here. So, and probably, yeah, this is the best move, but it's not that easy to see because I can jump in with the knight. And yeah, the game continues, but it's still difficult to defend for black. Okay, and here in the trade of queens, I was wondering during the game, it's still fine. It's inaccuracy, but white has the white still has the advantage. And after this was a great move. Knight to c5. Okay, rook to e7. Here, this is winning, and probably the endgame was a bit sloppy, or it looked like it because of the lack of time. But yeah, it was fine. It was completely winning anyway. This is my bread and butter anyway. When the position is when both players are low on time, there's nothing to be done. Okay, let's carry on with another game. Okay, guys, as you might have noticed, the opponents are getting a little bit more tough, so I might have to speak less. But yeah, we can still do a game review and show the main ideas. Okay, here he's gonna go for this. This is weird. Now what? Yeah, that looks weird. That just looks losing. Okay, let's develop the bishop. Let's put in pawn here. Now let's get the other knight out. So probably can play bishop to e7, but I will get first this move, queen to b6. Almost automatically, you have to see this. Bishop to g5. Okay, queen b6. He could take here. Again, giving up the bishop pair, but that just looks weird. Oh, okay. That's an interesting move. Keeping an eye on the pawn and keeping an eye on the bishop. Let's just get the bishop out, defend. Do I have d4? d4 looks like might be a good move. d4 cannot go here. He's gonna have to play this. I'm not sure, so let's castle. But d4 looks interesting. Yeah, he has this. You would have. I could have given a check, but okay. Now he castles. I'm also tempted to play this, but that doesn't make much sense. Okay, let's just get the rook into the semi-open file. And maybe now I can get d4. d4, maybe with ideas of knight b4, hitting this pawn. I always tell my students, in most openings, you want to push the c pawn first, and then develop your knight. Okay, he's taking the knight. That's a bit strange. Because now this knight is a bit awkward. It's playable, but it's just awkward. Okay. Can I get this? Can I get d4? d4, knight. It might look good. Okay, looks good. I will go for it. Also, my pieces feel ready, a good position, so I can start pushing pawns. That's probably an inaccuracy. I was expecting something else, but maybe it was also the only kind of good move. Because I guess I can take here, takes, and that pawn on e4 is gonna look loose. I'm not sure, but I think this should be fine. On e4, yeah, and then he has to move the knight somewhere. How do I take, how do I go after the pawn? I guess I can, yeah, this is a good idea. Then knight b4, here in this pawn. If he goes here, I can take. Okay, let's go. Knight c2. Sorry, knight is threatening to go c2 or here. Okay. No, wait, that's hanging. That's hanging the bishop. Because now he cannot take. That's just hanging the piece. Then again, yeah, don't trust your opponent just because it looks like he's defending. Look for tactics. Okay, and now my knight can be safe. I can just go back. Where do I go? This looks fine. Let's go there. Okay. Okay, he's trading, but I am just up a piece. Okay, let's see what will be the fastest way. Always force the trade of pieces. I'm hitting the pawn, hitting this pawn. So maybe queen d3 to defend. Okay, just take. Yeah, that's bad. I think I may have this. Okay, let's go here, and I'm threatening to play bishop to f4. Although, no, my pawn will be hanging. Yeah. So I may have to prepare that. What? Okay. Actually, I was gonna retreat here, but I want to give my queen more space to breathe. So let's go all the way here. Using the whole diagonal. Okay. Now he takes the pawn. But I can play this and asking the question where to put the queen. Okay, and now I guess I can double up my rooks. What do I have here? Because rook d5 can be met by playing this. But yeah, it should be a fine move. Let's go anyway. If he goes here, I can double up my rooks on this file. Well, I can also play rook f5, which I was missing. And no. Let's go here. Also, as a good habit, you want to push pawns here just to have breathing space for the king. I'm gonna hit the queen. I think that's fine. Even the queen. Do I have something here? Takes. King has to move. I'm not sure. I think that's possible. I'm not sure, guys. So yeah, I don't know. Let's go with that idea I was telling you before. Maybe h6 is a fine move. This pawn is also hanging, but okay, let's go that. Let's go there here. Let me calculate again. So I don't see the calculation after takes. I take. King is here. King g1. Maybe rook d2. But by that time, where does he go? Oh, that's insulting. That's just insulting. Yeah, I was thinking he could take the pawn, but not really, because now this pawn is hanging. So that to me is a little bit insulting that he's taking the pawn. But let's just take here. Let's hit in the rook. We can play this. And now this idea doesn't seem too crazy anymore. Here, takes here. Oh my god. Rook d2. Give me a second. I have to calculate. Rook d2. Something like. Oh, he's resigning. Okay, let's check out my computer. Yeah, I was calculating that line. It was complicated. I don't know. I wasn't sure. I think he could have given a check here with the queen, maybe, and have a perpetual on the light squares. So let me see with the game review. Okay, guys, let's go with this game review. So we start with the Caro Kann defense and bishop to c4. What are we doing here with white? So this Caro Kann defense is specifically designed to cover the light square diagonal. So after this, yeah, the bishop looks weird and they have to waste another tempo. Yeah, I don't recommend that opening. Okay, now after we get the pieces out, bishop to e7, c3, everything is copacetic. This is a strategical mistake. I don't know why, but it's happening a lot in my games. People are giving up the bishop pair for the knight for no reason, in my opinion. Just a strategical mistake, but okay. Now, d4 is played. Guess what? It was supposed to be a good move back here, rook to a to c8. Now here it was a good moment to play d4. Okay, it wasn't. Now I play d4, knight to e4, takes is fine, and this blunders the game. This blunders the game. Bishop to d3 because he's not really defending the pawn as the queen is hanging. Okay, and now do you remember my calculation? Can I sacrifice the rook? Yeah, but it's not queen to e4. Here is a good moment to sacrifice the rook, but it shows the computer that it's not even a brilliancy. It's more like inaccuracy. So after this, yeah, I was calculating something like rook d3, rook d2, but there's some ways to defend. Okay. Now after h6, queen takes on b7. Now it's a good moment to sacrifice the rook because with the presence of this bishop, this is actually made in two. I didn't see that. Well, of course, I was calculating all other line. But yeah, okay, he resigned before anything happened. But yeah, I could have sacrificed this rook. The attack is solid. Bishop and queen, nothing stopping them. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my exclusive content in the other channel, not here, but in the other channel. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.